Okay, looking at the first one, हमारे पास है वर्क आउट दिस यूजिंग द बॉड मास। हमारे पास क्या होगा? सबसे पहले हम लोगों ने क्या मल्टीप्लाई करना, राइट? सो व्हेन यू मल्टीप्लाई वी गेट अ पॉजिटिव, राइट? 6 + 8 एंड दिस इज 40। सब्ट्रैक्ट नहीं करना, पहले मल्टीप्लाई करना। ओके, नेक्स्ट 80 टाइम्स 0.2। सो if you can just figure it out कि क्या है, just write the value. If you can't, convert it into a fraction like this and you can see it's 16. Next, right, so 2 by 9, division sign changes into multiplication and we take a reciprocal of this. So we can cancel this out, simplify it. 2 times 3, 3 times 3. So we have 4 over 15. Okay, next, this over here. The bag contains 11 balls. There are 5 blue balls and 4 yellow balls. The rest of the balls are green. A ball is taken from the bag at random. Find the probability that the ball is yellow. Okay. For it to be a yellow, what should we do? हमारे पास क्या probability है? Total balls, they are 11. Okay, so ये छोटे मोटे जो इस तरह के questions भी होते हैं, just make a list like this. It won't take much time. And total 11. So you can easily figure it out. If this is 4 by 11, yellow, then not blue. For it to be a blue, it is 5 by 11. For it to be not a blue, you have to subtract it. It's the complement, like, right? Other than that, so 1 minus 5 by 11. Total probability is 1. We subtract the probability of the opposite event and you get 6 by 11. Okay, next, question number 3. The area of one face of a cube is 9 centimeter square. Area of one is 9 centimeters square. On 1 centimeter grid, draw an accurate net of the cube. So net of a cube, you have to split the shape into 2D surfaces. It's like opening the shape. Area of one face of the cube is 9 centimeter square. Right? So we can figure out, because when we are dealing with a cube, so this is a cube, all the sides will be the same. इसी तरह की squares होंगे. And they are telling us that one side of it has an area of 9 centimeters square. So let's say this side over here is 9 centimeters square. That means all the sides are 9 centimeters square, right? And if we have x times x, so we can figure out the value of x, the length of it, right? So x times x is x square. They are saying that area of one face, that means area of square, is 9 centimeters square. That means x times x is 9. And x is equal to 100 root of 9. So we have x as 3. Right? Can't be negative, so 3. So we have 3 centimeters. The length of all the sides of this cube is 3 centimeters. Right? Now, for this to be, to make the net of it, we have to have the idea that there are total 6 surfaces. Total surfaces are 6, in which 2 can be considered as bases. Okay, the top and bottom. The rest can be considered as lateral faces. 4. And all will have the same dimension. Now, if we start with the base, it should be 3 by 3, right? So like this. Start somewhere in the center so that you have ample space on the sides. This is the base, right? Then, for example, this is the base. Then these lateral faces will drop to the sides. Okay, ये सारी की सारी sides पे drop करते हैं. So that means we have the same squares on the sides as well. 1, 2. How many of them? 4. We got 4 lateral faces. And there is one base left, this top one over here. So it can go along any of the face. ये इधर भी हो सकता है, इसके साथ भी. It can open over here, it can open over here, it can open over here. So that's your choice, wherever you want to make, right? So let's make it over here. So this is also base. Okay. Now, 4. Was somebody doing this or done? Javeria, Amar, Hiba, let's just switch on your cameras. Be quick. Be quick. Amar, Javeria. I shouldn't be telling you again and again. Question number 4. AEC and BED are straight lines. Find the value of x. Okay. We have straight lines over here. And ED is equal to EC. So we have to find the value of x. Now, they haven't told us to give reasons, but as you can see, the marks, there are 3 marks. So if you give reasons, there will be marks for working. So I can say, because they have given us ED is equal to EC, I can say EDC is isosceles. If that is isosceles, we have EDC is equal to ECD. And both these angles will be 35 degrees. Right? Next, to find this angle over here, this will be vertically opposite angle. Sorry, this is the third angle in a triangle. So we can say that DEC is 180 minus 35 minus 30, which is 70. So 180 minus 70, that is 110. If this is 110, then this is also 110. Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles, right? So DEC is the same as AEB. Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles. Now, the reasons I'm giving is just for your clarification. Otherwise, over here, the calculation is enough, right? Because they haven't asked you for the reason, but be very careful. 3-mark question. Okay. Now, so we can easily figure out the value of x. X should be 180 minus 110 minus 48. That should be equal to 22. Okay. Next one. Question number 5. Solve this. Yes, very much a bit. Let me see. That's fine. That's fine. Promise. And you just can see the recording later on. Okay. But do attempt it. So solve this over here. 5 times 4, that is 20. Minus 5, 4. 5x is equal to 35. Okay. So we have minus 5x is equal to 35 minus 20. So negative 5x is equal to 15. So x is equal to 15 over minus. So x is equal to minus 3. The scale drawing shows the position of two villages, A and B. The scale is 1 centimeter to 5 kilometers. Find the actual distance between village A and village B. Okay. Maps and scales. So they give you a scale, you convert it, right? The original scale is converted into a scale for a paper, a map. So that is a smaller scale. The actual scale is a bigger scale. So 1 centimeter to 5 kilometers. Find the actual distance between village A and village B. So this on paper, right? This will be representing some centimeters. We have to convert it back to actual. So you can take your ruler, see what the length over here is on paper. And this might not be exactly because I'm using the soft copy of this. And your answer may also differ because of the printer setting. But in the examination hall, you will be getting one print, everyone the same. So this is how much? 6.1. Yes. 6.1. Right? So 1 centimeter to 5 kilometers. And 6 centimeters, 6.1 centimeters will be how many kilometers? So you can obviously use proportions for this. That 6.1 times 5, that will be 30.5. So in actual, this is representing 30.5. The range given to you over here is 29 to 31. Okay. Village C is on a bearing of 60 from village A. Village C is on a bearing of 320 from village B. Okay. Find and label the position of village C on the scale drawn. So what we are supposed to do, you people have to, because they haven't given us the distance, they have given us the bearing. So for bearing, let me use this over here. So they're saying village C is on a bearing of 60 from A. Okay. 60 from A. So this is the north of A. We are going to start from the north of A and 60 degrees in that. So I have aligned this center of it with A and the 0 with the north, right? So as you can see, 60 is over here. Okay, 60 is over here. So I can just draw a line like this in this direction. Just mark a point and use a ruler to draw it like this. Okay. This is 60. Next, they're saying village C is on a bearing of 320. Okay. So that means if this is 60 over here, for 320, what we can do is you can always figure it out like this, that how much degrees will be left after that. So 360 minus 320, that will be 40. So the bearing will be from the north of B. Is it? Yes, from village B. From village B, from the north of village B, you are going to move till you reach over here. Now this is 120, sorry, 320. So if this is 320, then this angle should be 40. So what you can do is use a protractor and measure it 40 degrees. It's almost the same. So I'll mark the angle over here. Somehow over here. So you can see it's, because I have limitations over here, I can't draw it exactly as it is, but I can see 40 is somewhere, as you can see over here. It's like over here, right? So I'm just going to mark this like this. So I marked this 40 because I had 320 bearing over here. Okay. And the total is 360. So I can see this angle over here is C. Is that clear? Sorry, this point over here is C. Anyone? Okay. Next. So this will be, evaluate this. So cube root of 125. I already told you people, if you can remember. Yes, Ismail, ask. Which one?
आर्क बना सकते हैं
Arc? How?
उस पॉइंट पे आर्क बना दो
No, you are using compass?
जैसे कंपास से अगर आर्क बना दो तो सही है
हाँ, लेकिन how do you know the length? Do you know the length?
यस सर
है ना? तो हम लोग को तो एंगल को देखी हुई है ना. हमने क्या किया? I use the protractor. Okay. I use the protractor, mark the angle, and just drew a line in direction of that point. Okay. इस तरह किया. Now, okay, this one, 104 square. If the power is negative, you take a reciprocal of the base term, it becomes positive. So 1 over 60. Law of indices. Okay. Question number 8. Asha records the distance she walks and the time she takes for each of the 10 walks. The table shows her result. And you can see they have made a scatter plot in which they have marked 6 points. The rest 5, the one unshaded, you have to mark. So let's mark it. 4 point, no, now be careful with this as well. The distance is on x-axis, the time is on y-axis. Don't get confused. So 4.2 and 52. 4.2 and 52. And do check the scale as well. 1 unit is representing 0.2. So 4.2 and 52. 0.2 on x-axis and 2 units on y-axis. This one. Next, 9 and 116. So 9 and 116. 110, 12, 14, 16. 3.8 and 49. 3.8 and 49. So it's above 48 over here. Then we have 5.6 and 62. 5.6 and 62. So now what are they saying? Okay, we have taught that. Draw a line of best fit. Line of best fit, again, I'm telling you people, it's a line which crosses as many points as it can, right? And the rest of the points which are not crossed should be balanced almost equally on the left side, on the right side of the line. Okay. So drawing a line of best fit, let's draw a line. As you can see, it's totally not a line of best fit line, right? Because it's totally ignoring all the points. So we have to adjust it. आप लोगों ने ruler के साथ इसको adjust करना, right? Adjust it such that it crosses as many points as it can, and the rest are balanced about. So I think this is fine for me. Okay. So it is almost touching the points as it can, and the rest, for example, over here, balancing about these two, right? Balancing this. Now you can always have a point or two above or below. थोड़ा सा आगे पीछे हो सकता है. That is fine, right? That's not an issue. That is why it's an estimated line, a line of best fit. So try to make it as accurately as possible, but there can be always a shortcoming of a point or two. So this is the line of best fit. Asha goes for another walk. She walks a distance of 6.8, and use your line of best fit to estimate the time Asha takes for this walk. 6.8. So I'll go towards from 6.8 from the x-axis. And see on the line of best fit, what value am I getting? It's 83 minutes. Okay. 83. No, I didn't draw it properly. It's 6.8, my bad. I drew it at 6.6. Okay. So this is 86. Okay. Now this value will be according to your line of best fit. If your line of best fit is correct, it shouldn't be missing too many points. It shouldn't be in the opposite direction, right? Then it's fine. So 86 over here. For me, aapki value, it can be 88, it can be 85, right? 87. Question number 9. The diagram shows a rectangle this much. By writing each number correct to one significant figure, find an estimate for the area of rectangle. Now, always look at this word, and they are using this in the latest format. They give you a shape, right? Just to confuse you, so that you get stuck with the calculations. Manu, which is this your second account? Yes, Manu?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, they will give you such kind of values to get you stuck with the calculation. So if imagine you start doing the calculation over here. 87.1 into 23.6 in a non-calculator version. So you will be stuck, you will be doing calculations, and it will go past 2 minutes. It can go past 2 minutes, right? That's a waste of time. So always look for words like these. Now don't force these words. ये नहीं कि कहीं पे उन्होंने नहीं लिखा हुआ, don't use this then. Right? If they have written an estimate over there, then take an estimate. So what is the nearest whole number to 87? Sorry, they are saying correct to one significant figure. So what is the first significant figure of this one? 8. This should be rounded up to anyone? This should be
90.
90, right? So we have area, length into width. So this becomes 90. If the neighboring digit it is 5 or greater than 5, it will round up. And for the width, we have this as the first significant figure. This should be
20.
20. So we have 90 and 20, 180. Sorry, there are 2 zeros. So just multiply the numbers and add the zeros. Okay. Next, write 22, 8 as a product of its prime factors. So 228 as a product of its prime factors, you can use the ladder method to work out the prime factors. Right? So we start with the lowest one. We start with 2. So I can use 2 over here. This will be 1, 1, 4. Again 2. Because we can see an even number over here, so I can use 2. So we have 57. Now, the last digit is not an even number or 0, so I can't use 2. Look for another number. For divisibility of 3, 7 plus 5. When you add the two numbers, 7 plus 5, what do we get? 12. So if 12 is divisible by 3, then 57 is also divisible by 3. So this is 19. Now, obviously 19 is a prime number, so we can't go past that. So that is 2 squared times 3 times 19. This is equal to this, write this as a product of its prime factors. Okay. So they are saying that if we square this, we are going to get this. So let's square it, but using the product of its prime factors. So I'm going to use the prime factors of 228 instead of 228, that is 2 squared times 3 times 19. And put a whole square above it. That should be equivalent to 51984. Now, if I open the bracket, the power outside the brackets applies to each term inside the bracket, right? And multiplies with the power inside the bracket. So 2 power 2 into 2, 3 power 1, that becomes 2. 19 power 1, that becomes 2. So we have the final answer as 2 power 4. This is equivalent to this, okay? So 2 power 4 into 3 square into 19 square. Left-hand side is equal to right-hand side. Next. The mass of a small box. Amar, which is switch on your camera. Manur, Ismail. Camera should be switched on. Put it on, be quick. Now, the mass of a small box is x kg. And the mass of a large box is y kg. The total mass of 4 small boxes and 6 large boxes is 30 kg. Show that we have to make an equation like this. Right? So what should we do? We have the mass of small box is x kg and the mass of large box is y kg. The total mass of small boxes, the 4x plus 6y should be equal to 30. Now we have to match this. So if I can divide with a number which can bring these numbers down, yes, 2, yes, good. So this will be 2x plus 3y is equal to 15. Now, the total mass of 6 boxes and 1 large box is 13 kg. Use the information to write an equation in terms of x and y. So basically, they want us to make another equation. Small boxes are representing x, so 6x, plus large box y, and they should be totaling to 13. So this is another equation. Okay. 6x plus y is equal to 30. Now solve the simultaneous equation to find the mass of the small box. So basically they are saying that we should solve them simultaneously and find the value of x and y. Right? So this was our first equation. This is our second equation. Right? We have to match. If the terms are aligned like this, it's easier to use elimination. Right? Rather than wasting time on substitution, the answer will be correct for both. उसमें कोई गलती नहीं होगी if you don't make any calculation errors. So you can use both elimination or substitution, but the preferred method will be elimination because that can save your time. So to match this, one of the variables, let's match the variable y. So it's 3y over there. I want to match it with 3y, but with the negative side. So I'm going to multiply the second one with the negative 3. This would be 2x plus 3y is equal to 15. And the second becomes minus 18x minus 3y is equal to minus 39. This will cancel out. We have minus 16x is equal to minus 24. So the negative and negative will cancel out, and we are left with this should be both are in the table of 4. We have 6 and 4, and again further simplified 3 and 2. So we have 1.5. Now I can use the value of x as 1.5 or 3 by 2 into either of these equations. So I can say x is equal to 3 by 2. Substitute x is equal to 3 by 2 into equation number, let's say 2. So this would be 6 times 3 by 2 plus y is equal to 13. Why am I using the fraction? But because P1, it's easier to use fractions rather than decimals. The calculations. So we have 9 plus y is equal to 13 and 4. Okay. Next, question number 12. Now this is related to transformation. Should I give you a minute? Not a minute, but 4 minutes to solve it, because I want you to test your knowledge. Yes? Hiba, which are you done? Anur, switch on your camera.
I'm doing it.
Okay. Anur, switch on your camera. Ismail, are you done?
सर सी पार्ट नहीं हुआ
ठीक है, I'm giving you people exactly let's say 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay. Chalo, 4 minutes. Work it out. Amar, what about you? Okay. Mahnul, which is switch on your camera? And we'll start with this. Question number 12. Okay. Triangle A and triangle B are drawn on the grid. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. Right. So, मुझे ये बताओ किस तरह की ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन लग रही है?
Sir, it's rotation.
Okay, Mahnur, is it rotation? Deflection ही लग रही?
I'm not sure.
I want you to be sure ना. पेपर के अंदर आप ये थोड़ी कहोगे I'm not sure. लग क्या रहा है वैसे? Just name any transformation. Enlargement के अलावा. Yes, Mahnur? Any? Is it
Rotation.
rotation? Rotation. Okay. आपने भी rotation किया है. Okay. What if I say it's a reflection? Then हो सकती है या नहीं?
नहीं.
क्यों? Why? Yes. Any reason why it can't be reflection?
Sir, नहीं पता.
Because does it look like mirror image of one another? उसमें तो उसका direction change हो जाती है ना? Right? When you are looking at the mirror, this half is exactly the same as this half. Right? And इसकी orientation आप देख सकते हो, it's like this and this is also like this. It should have been in the opposite direction. The other way to figure out, for those who get confused with reflection and rotation, join the vertices. Do they look like parallel lines? Yes.
Yes.
Manu, do they? Are you sure? Are they parallel lines? जो vertices से मैंने join किया है. Are they parallel or not?
No.
No, if they are not parallel, they are not. This is not reflection. Okay. So be sure about it. The main purpose was okay, you should be sure about it. Okay? To describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. Again, first of all, identify which one is the object, which is the image. So, Manur, which one is the object?
Triangle A.
And B is the image. So I can just label the vertices. A is the object. Let's say this is P, Q, and R. So that makes this as P dash, Q dash, and R. P prime, Q prime, and R. Now, to figure out what is the center of rotation, we already know that this is rotation now. We have to figure out the center of rotation. For center of rotation, what should we do? Yes, Manur, क्या पढ़ा था हमने? Any idea?
Draw lines from one point to the other.
Okay. What kind of lines?
Corresponding.
Draw two perpendicular bisectors from corresponding points. Draw two perpendicular bisectors from two corresponding points. Then what? Yes, center is where the perpendicular bisectors intersect. Intersect. Okay. So let's join 2 points over here. Let's say this and this. And you can clearly, very easily figure out the perpendicular bisector of this, can't you? You know, you place a ruler at 90 degrees and just draw a line. So let's say we have now you might not be able to see it, so I'll just use a line. Okay, मैं line use कर लेता हूँ ताकि आप लोगों को नजर आए. I'll use a line. So you see over here, you draw a line perpendicular to this. Okay, as you can see, you can measure it, the center of it like this. इसका center कहाँ पे आ रहा है? So it's 4.2, so 2.2, right? यहाँ पे इसका center आ रहा है जहाँ पे मैंने line draw की. It's almost the same. Okay. Now, perpendicular bisector of it. इस line को ये जो dotted line है, this line have perfectly splitted it into two halves, and it is also making a 90 degrees with the blue line. Perpendicular bisector, 90 degrees, making a 90 degrees and splitting the line equally. This can also be done using the compass, which we have done already. Manur, Yadav, do you remember that?
No, sir.
Are you sure? उसकी फिर आई गेस मेरे पास रिकॉर्डिंग है. वो कौन से पेपर में करवा रहा था? Anyone? I guess I have the recording. It was one of the paper recently, so I will highlight it as well. So now let's look at this point. इसका हमारे पास perpendicular bisector again. If you don't have a compass, you just use a ruler, but for that you have to be a bit careful. Ruler use करते हुए थोड़ा सा careful होना पड़ेगा क्योंकि it can. So we have 7.4, 3.7, so around here 3.7. Okay, so I'll draw a perpendicular line over here at 3.7. Okay, perpendicular line. अब ये कौन से पॉइंट पे जाके इंटरसेक्ट कर रहे हैं? Where are the two perpendicular bisectors intersecting? And you have to tell me integer points. Decimals में नहीं. Tell me the integer points. What are the integer points where the two perpendicular bisectors are intersecting? Anur?
Minus 2 and 1.
Minus 2 and 1. That's your center. Got it? So rotation along center, minus 2, 1. And what should be the degree of rotation and the angle of rotation? What you can do is join the two corresponding points. Corresponding points वैसे जैसे मैंने ये Q बनाया है तो उसका corresponding point होगा Q prime, right? These are corresponding points. Join the two corresponding points to the center. And what kind of an angle can you see making with the center? What kind of an angle can you see?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. Okay, if I want to move from Q to Q prime, what is the angle, direction of rotation? Is it clockwise?
Clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. Clockwise, that's it. Okay. Clockwise, 90 degrees center rotation. You have to mention all these things. Now, B part, draw the image of triangle A after reflection in the line x is equal to -1. Of A, x is equal to -1. So let me, it's a lot over here. Whenever you do a question like this, you can always get rid of this. ये देखो, ये भी मैं erase कर सकता हूँ, ये भी erase कर सकता हूँ. Even if you want to get rid of the perpendicular lines, okay, you should just know कि कहाँ पे हमारा center lie कर है. The rest you can get rid of. So just for the sake, I will keep them. Okay. Now, reflection along which line? X is equal to -1. Reflection and x is equal to -1. So x is equal to -1 is this line over here. X is equal to -1. If I reflect triangle A, I have to see how many boxes? 2 boxes on the right. Then it should be 2 boxes on the left. Okay, from the line of reflection, same distance. So we have Q prime over here. Then 4 boxes on the left, right? 4 boxes on the right, left. So we have P prime over here. Then we have 5 boxes on the right. So 5 boxes on the left over here. So this is our R. Just join them. And that is your triangle. क्या कहा था उन्होंने? What am I going to name it? Nothing. Image of A. So I can say A prime like this. Now, C part, triangle A is enlarged with scale factor. Triangle A is enlarged with scale factor K. The center 0, 0. The center 0, 0. Okay. For enlargement, they have mentioned the center is 0, 0. Triangle C is the image of triangle A after the enlargement. The coordinates of one vertex of triangle C are 12 and 3. Find the value of K. Ismail, look over here, Bichu. What have we discussed about in the earlier classes? Whenever we are moving from object points to image points, what do? We multiply it with a scale factor. Okay. Over here, if I see the object point, and I have to use column vector form, right? Horizontal movement, vertical movement. So we are going to transform triangle A. So where is the from the center? अच्छा मैंने center यहाँ पे गलत mark कर दिया. Wait, the center was not this. Center is over here, 0, 0. This is the center of enlargement, right? So where is Q from the center? Let's start with P. It's 3 places right and 2 places up. And you can see the coordinates are the same, 3 and 2. Right? Because we are dealing with the center as 0, 0, that is why the column vector and the coordinates will be the same, 3 and 2. So what should be Q? That should be 1 and 1. What should be R? R should be 4 and 1. What are they saying? They are saying the coordinates of one vertex of triangle C is 12 and 3. One vertex. If I look at it, and let's say we have the image point over here, 12 and 12 and 3. If I match it with all the above, no point can turn into 3, right? No point from the object can turn into 3 because obviously 2 cannot turn into 3 if I multiply it with a number. 1 can if I multiply it with 3, the same over here. But this I have to multiply it with 12, right? So it can't be 1 over here. It can be 4. So for example, we have the point 12 and 3 over here. Then we moved from 4. What should I multiply with 4 to make it 12? Mahanur, what should I multiply it with?
3.
To make it. And what should I multiply with 1 to make it 3?
3.
Right? Is there any other point which can turn to 12 and 3?
No.
No, right? So our scale factor is
3.
That's it. Is that clear, Hiba? Were you done with this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good, well done. The scale factor over here is 3. Now, they're saying find the coordinates of the other two vertices, so it's easy for you. Now, Manur, tell me, what are the coordinates of the other 2 points? Yes. Manur? Can you hear me?
Yes.
What are the coordinates of the other 2 points?
3, 2, and 1, 1.
No, not the object points, the image points. What should I do? If I want to move from object point to the image point, an enlargement, we multiply it with a
Scale factor.
Yes. So multiply it with the scale factor.
3,
1 and 1,
3,
3, 3, P.
9, and 6.
There you go. Right. So your coordinates are the same also. It's 3 and 3 and 9 and 6. Is that clear? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Amar, which is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have to move a bit quick. Now, in a sale, a shop reduces all prices by 20%. A quote cost $85. Before sale, work out the sale price of the quote. So $85 before sale. That means this will represent 100%. Anything previously, the original value, the amount, the cost, right, will always represent 100%. And after that, the sale discount or anything, that will be represented with the adjustment in percentage. So they are asking for the sale price. We don't know that, but we know that how much was the sale? It reduced by 20%. So in 100%, a reduction of 20% is 80%. Okay, so we have proportions over here. We can work it out. X is equal to, cross multiply them, 80 times 85 over 100. Right? Now, this should be 0 can cancel out. Okay. 85 into 8. So either you can work it out over here, 85 into 8. So we have 40. And then 68. So 680. 680 divided by 10. So the answer is 68. Next, the sale price of a shirt is $40. Work out the cost of the shirt before sale. So now we have to find the cost of the shirt. So that will be representing 100%, right? And the sale price is already given, 40. So that should be 80% because there was a reduction of 20%. Again, cross multiply. So we have 40 times 100 divided by 80. This and this cancels out, 1 and 2, and we have 50. Next, question number 14. A is the point this, B is the point this, BC is equal to this. Find the column vector. Whenever they mix such things, coordinates of a point and a column vector like this, you should always know. जिस तरह अभी हम लोगों ने ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में किया था कि when we are moving from the origin, it's the same column vector and the coordinates of a point. They are the same. So position vector of a point is the same as the coordinates of the point. Right? So find the column vector AB. For AB, I have to split this. Now there is one thing. We have to split it into position vectors. Okay. Let me show you over here. Position vector is when it's starting from the fixed point. So A towards A from O. This is the position vector of OA, and this is the position vector of B. Right? They are asking us to find AB over here. This one over here. So if this is the case, okay, I have this OA and OB. I'm going to start from A and move in the opposite direction of OA. That is why your first one, if I want to split it, OA and OB. That is why your first vector, position vector, will always be negative. Okay. And the second one, you can see we are moving in the same direction. In the same direction. So that is why your second one will always be positive. Okay. So you can split a vector into its position vector and write it like this, OB minus OA. That's the case every time if we split a vector into its position vectors. So OB is equal to, what is OB? The coordinates, the same I can use as position vectors. So 6 and 1 minus 4 and 5. What do we get? We get 10 and minus 4. Next, find the coordinates of C. To find the coordinates of C, there is a point C as well. I can split this one over here, BC, into its position vectors. So splitting BC into its position vectors, we are getting OB and OC. Which one is positive and which one is negative? Yes, anyone? सारे सो गए. Yes, Manur, which one is positive? अब तो लिख दिया मैंने.
OC minus OB.
OC minus OB. OC we don't have, we have to find, and OB we have. So let's rearrange it. OC is equal to BC plus OB. BC is -3 and -4. OB is, where is it, OB? Yes, 6 and 1. So we have -3 plus 6, which is 3. I'm writing first in column vector form. This is 3 and this is -3. The position vector of a point is the same as the column vector. So I can write it as 3 and -3. C part, ABCD is a trapezium. AB is parallel to DC and AB is 2 times DC. So they have given us AB is 2 times DC. Listen for me. Find the coordinates of D. AB is 2 times DC. So what was AB? AB was 10 and -4. So I can figure out DC from here. Half of AB. Okay. So DC will be half of 10 and -4. That makes it 5 and -2. So we have DC as 5 and -2. Now, using the same concept, I want to figure out the position, the coordinates of D. So OD, OC. First one is negative, second one is positive. Right? So OC minus OD. Now, because we have to find the coordinates of D, so I'm going to rearrange it. OD is equal to DC plus OC. Now, you can do it directly. So OD is equal to DC is 5 and -2, and OC we just found out 3 and 3. 3 and -3. So we are going to have OD as 8 and -5. Again, what the steps I'm doing is for explanation purpose. Did I make an error? Yes, I made an error. Why? Because if I take OD over there, it becomes positive and DC becomes negative. I added that. My bad. Be careful with this, Vijay. Something which can happen. 3 and -3 minus DC is 5 and -2. So this should be -2 and -3 plus 2 is -1. Okay, so the coordinates of point D will be -2 and -1. Find the length of line AD. To find the length of line AD, we can use the formula. Okay, length under root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Right? So AD, where is AD? AD. We have point A. Let me write the points. A is -4 and 5. And D is -2 and -5. So I can label it x1, y1, x2, y2. So -2 minus -4 whole square plus y2 -1 minus 5. So we have -2 plus 4, that is +2. The whole square of +2 is 4 plus -1 minus 5, that is -6. And the whole square will be 36. So we have under root of 40. Give your answer in simplest form as a surd. So I have to convert it into AD is, the length of AD is under root 40. I can convert this into 4 and 10, right? Okay. And this should be 2 under root 10. That's your answer. All right. Next, simplify this over here. Question for third. Again, splitting it into factor pairs. Now try to select a square number, the highest square number. You can think of that number. Otherwise, you can simplify it down always. Now, it can be 25 times 7. Okay. If you have a square number and a prime number, that's the simplest form, right? You can't go beyond that. And for 28, we can think of 4 and 7. Okay. So we have 5 under root 7 minus under root 4, that is 2 under root 7. Now, when the surds are same, as you can see over here, when they are same, you can always add or subtract the numbers. So this will be 5 minus 2, which is 3 under root 7. Okay. Rationalize the denominator. To rationalize the denominator, I have to get rid of this surd. Right? How can I do that? If I multiply it with another number. Okay, for example, we have under root 2 and we multiply it with under root 2. It becomes under root 2 square because we are multiplying the same number. So the square root and the square cancel out. So that is our goal, is to multiply it with the same number, under root 5. But if I'm multiplying this with the denominator, I have to multiply it numerator as well. Now, even if we have a surd in the numerator, it doesn't matter because we have to rationalize the denominator. We are not concerned about the numerator. So square, they will cancel out. So we have under root 5 over 5. Next, 16, a group of 80 people each record their journey time from home to work one day. The cumulative frequency diagram shows the results. Use the cumulative frequency diagram to find an estimate of the median. Now, remember one thing. If we are dealing with averages and ranges, I keep on writing it again and again so that you get to know every time. Averages and ranges. How will you deal with this? You will figure out the position on y-axis, the position of averages and ranges, y-axis, and value exist on x-axis. So you figure out the position of it from the y-axis, go towards the graph, and look at the x-axis. That will be a value. And for number of items, number of things, it can be students, it can be fruit, it can be vegetable, anything, right? So number of items, things, this is the opposite. Now, for position, we are going to look at x-axis, x-axis, and for value, I'm going to look at the y-axis. Okay, remember this. Now let's do. So we have some formulas to figure out about average, which is median. The position of median will be n by 2. N divided by 2. N is the, again, I keep on repeating the same thing. N is the highest value in the cumulative frequency curve. N is the highest value of the cumulative frequency value in a frequency table, and N is the total of all the frequencies. So this should be 80 by 2. So your position is 40. You go towards 40. That's your position. And this is your value. 32. It's a computer generated graph. Be as accurate as possible. Okay. So they haven't given any range for this. Ruler जब आप रखते हो, your pencil should be sharp enough to figure this out. Okay. The interquartile range. For this, you need two things. Upper quartile value minus lower quartile value. Be very careful, not the position of it. A very common mistake is we figure out the position, upper quartile 3 by 4n. 3 by 4n means 3 by 4, 80. So 3 by 4 times 80, that will be 60. Right? So what students do is they subtract 60 minus lower quartile will be 1 by 4n. 20. They subtract 60 from 20 and write the answer. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. Okay. We have to look for the values. What were we saying? For averages and ranges, we go towards the y-axis, mark the 60 point, and see what value are you getting on the x-axis. It is 35. This is what you are going to subtract. 35 minus 20, that is 25. That's your interquartile range, 10. Okay. Next, the number of people who had a journey time of 40 minutes or more. Journey time of 40 minutes or more. So, because they are asking us about the number of people, so number, I'm going to refer to this. Number of things, I'll have to position it on x-axis. So 40 minutes or more. This is the mark, 40 minutes. They are talking about this time range towards the right of it. Now, if I go back towards the graph and I see which part of the graph are they referring to? They are referring to this part of the graph. And this part of the graph on the y-axis is between 80 and 72. So the value between that is the number of people, 80 minus 70. Okay. Your value exists on the y-axis. 80 minus 72, that should be 8. Any questions? Okay. Moving on. B part. Each of the 80 people also record their journey time from work to home that day. The table shows the result. Median is this. Interquartile range is this. Okay. Now, the journey time, J says the journey times from home to work are more consistent than the journey time from work to home. Is J correct? Explain how you decide. So, he's saying the journey time from home to work are more consistent. What is the journey time from home to work? The median. Okay. Just to be clear, let me highlight it. This is for each of the 80 people also record their journey time from work to home that day. Work to home. Okay. And what was that? Home to work. For home to work, our median was 32 and interquartile range is 10. Home to work. Home to work, median 32 and interquartile range. Home to work. Median is 32 and interquartile range is 10. Now, the journey time from home to work are more consistent. They are saying this is more consistent. Okay. Then the journey time from work to home. Is J correct? Explain why. So whenever you have to talk about consistency, you have to see the interquartile range. If it's lower interquartile range, then the consistency will be more, right? So yes, he's correct. J is correct. Why? Because the interquartile range, IQR, is lower for journey time from home to work. Okay. Question number 17. The equation of line, this, rearrange to make y the subject. To rearrange and make y the subject. Okay. Now I'm going to move everything except y. Okay. And this will be y is equal to negative 3 by 5 x plus 10 by 5. So you have y is equal to negative 3 by 5x plus 2. Okay. Now, line P is perpendicular to line L. Line P passes, okay, for those who have written it like this, that's perfectly correct as well. Correct. Write the positive value first and the negative value. Now, over here, line P is perpendicular to L. Line P passes through the point 6, 7. Find the equation of line P. Okay. Equation of line P. So let's say this is line L. Randomly drawing. Line L. Okay. Line L. And they are saying line P is perpendicular to line P. And this is line P. Now, it's not saying bisector, perpendicular bisector. It's just saying perpendicular to it. And line P passes through the point 6, 7. So it is also passing through a point 6, 7, which I'm just randomly drawing 6, 7. So to figure out the equation of line P, we are more concerned about line P equation. We can use help from line L because we have the equation of line L. Line L, what is the equation? The rearranged version, I'm writing that because I've already rearranged that. And I can figure out the gradient for that. So for line L, we have the gradient 3 by 5, negative 3 by 5. What is the relation between perpendicular lines and the gradients? That when I multiply the gradients, it will always give us -1. So the gradient of this line over here, let's say M2, is the negative reciprocal of that. So M2 is negative 5 by negative 3, that is 5 by 3. Okay. Now, to figure out the equation, I need two things. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. I need the gradient, which I just found. And apart from that, I need one more thing that is called the point on line. Point on line, which is x1, y1. Over here, this line P is passing through 6 and 7. So I can use these 2 points over here. So y minus 7 is equal to 5 by 3 into x minus 6. Multiply it over there, 3y minus 21 is equal to 5x minus 30. 3y is equal to 5x, and we have 30 plus 21. Okay. So we have 3y is equal to 5x minus 9. Either this, or if you want to write it as starting with y, making y the subject, so that is also correct. Okay, both of them are correct. This. Next, question number 18. The diagram shows a speed time graph for a cyclist. Switch on your cameras, bache. Ismail, Amar, Anur, switch on your cameras. The diagram shows speed time graph for a cyclist. Describe the motion between T40 and T100. Over here, they are asking about this portion. Is there anything changing with relation to speed? Or is the speed the same throughout from 40 to 100? Yes, Amar? What should I write for 40 to 100? Yes, you can send a message. Amar, which I am asking you. Yes, good. Constant speed. Okay, the speed is constant in this portion. The acceleration of the cyclist between T0 and T40 is this much. Show that V is equal to 10. So they're saying from T0 to T40, this portion. The acceleration is given. Oh, sorry. Yes, the acceleration is given 0.25. So gradient in a speed time graph represents acceleration or deceleration, depending on the line. If it's moving from left to right upwards, it's acceleration. If it's moving from left to right downwards, it's deceleration. Right? So over here, this portion is related to acceleration. Now, the acceleration is the same throughout. So I can use the formula acceleration is equal to final speed v minus u over t. Final minus initial over time. So final over here is v minus initial is 0, time is 40, and this is 0.25. So v is equal to 0.25. I can write it as 1 by 4 times 40. So v is equal to 10. Okay. Some students, what they do is they use the value of v. Don't use the value of v. ये आप use नहीं कर सकते. अपने अपने आंसर को इसके साथ मैच करना. You have to match your answer with it. Okay. Now, C part. The total distance traveled by the cyclist between T0 and TT is 1.5, 1.4. Find the value of T. So they have given us the total. We have to find that. Total distance over here. Okay, they have given us the total distance. So the total distance given, because the data we are dealing with is meter per second. So let's convert it into meters. 1400 meters. And in a speed time graph, gradient is representing acceleration and deceleration. Area under the graph represents distance. Okay, so all this area is representing distance traveled. So if I'm looking at the shape of the graph, it's like a trapezium, area of trapezium. Area of trapezium is going to represent total distance. So 1 by 2 times sum of parallel sides times the height. Sum of parallel sides, we have this as parallel. So the length of this is between 40 and 100, which is 60. So we have 1 by 2 times 60 plus, and the length of this one over here, this is also parallel side, is between 0 and t. So t minus 0 is t. So t times the height. Height is the perpendicular distance between these two. So this line and this line, the perpendicular distance between these two lines is v over here. So we have and this was 1400. So now 1400 times 2, that will be 2800 is equal to 60 t times 10. Okay, v was 10, that's why. So 60 plus t divided on the other side, that is 280. So t is equal to 280 minus 60. We have 220. That's your answer. Okay, simplify this. Again, this is something which usually do come in the paper, so be careful with this. And it's a 4-mark question. So you can solve the denominator over here, and I can solve the numerator over here. If you want to do it along, that is also fine, right? So I'm solving the denominator over here, that is x squared, 2x squared plus 11x plus 40. It's a quadratic expression, so I can use middle term breaking to work it out. The product should be positive 28. The sum should be positive 11. So we need two numbers. When we multiply, it's a positive 28, and when we add or subtract, it becomes positive 11. So the two numbers I can think of is 7 and 4, positive 7 and positive 4, and 7 plus 4. So I'm going to split this 11 into 7x plus 4x plus 40. So x is 2x plus 7 plus 4 plus 2 is 2x plus 7. Now we have x plus 2, and the other bracket is 2x plus 7. Now I can write, and on the other side, on the numerator, 3 is common. So we have x squared minus 4. Now we can notice something over here, that is this over here. When we have two perfect squares and a negative sign in between, this identity applies. A squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, a minus b. So this will be 3 times x plus 2, x minus 2. Now let's just join them. So the numerator is 3x plus 2, x minus 2. And the denominator is x plus 2 and 2x minus 7. I can cancel this out because the terms are being multiplied. So I'm left with 3x minus 2 over 2x minus 7. Okay. Next, work out this one over here. So we have a recurring decimal and then we have a fraction. So first figure out the recurring decimal and then we can add on the fractions. So let's solve the recurring decimal over here. It's 0.17 recurring. This means that 0.171717. This digit is going to keep on repeating. So let's say that is x. Make equations. This is the first equation. Then you make another equation multiplied by 10. 1.717 71717. This is the second equation. Our goal is to make equations like these till goal is to eliminate the repeating digits. Okay, the recurring digits, repeating digits. In this case, I want to get rid of this 171717. Okay, so I have to perfectly align. So if I subtract 1x and 10x, they are not going to subtract perfectly. So let's multiply x with 100. This will be 17.1717. This is the third one. Now, if I can see the two equations, there's 100, the third one and the first one. They are perfectly aligning after the decimal, the recurring digits. So I can subtract them. This will be 100x is equal to 17.171717, and x is equal to 0. And there you go. Our goal is achieved. I got rid of this. When I subtract them, you will be left with 99x and 17 over here. So x is equal to 17 by 99. This is how you convert a recurring decimal into fraction, algebraic. Okay. So now I can, in place of 0.17 recurring, I can just use this fraction. This will be 17 over 99 plus 5 by 9. Okay. Now to make the denominator common, the least common multiple, I have to multiply this with 11. So I have to multiply this with 11 as well. So 17 plus 55. This will be 72 over 99. And in its simplest form. So if I'm writing in its simplest form, okay, if I'm writing in its simplest form, I can divide it by, let's say, divide by 3. So if I divide both these sides by 3, we have 24 and 33. Again, divisible by 3. So I can again divide it by 3. And this time I'm left with 10 and 8 and 11. That's your final answer. Okay, that is why it's a 4-mark question. So show proper working over here. Okay. Question number 21. How many questions are we left with? 2 more, 3 more. So OA, OB is given. X is a point, and they have given us a ratio over here. AX ratio B, XB 3:2. OX is a straight line, AC is parallel to OB. So read this statement properly. Much information is given out over here. Do not neglect this information. I keep on repeating, बच्चे ये ना neglect किया करो. So marking this, A and B are already marked. Then I have to see the ratio AX, XB. So this line over here, rather than making something over here, चलो लिख देता हूँ यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ. So AX is 3 parts and XB is 2 parts. In total, we are dealing with 5 parts. So I can say that AX is 3/5 of the whole length AB and XB is 2/5 of the whole length AB. Okay, this is how you can derive the values. And AC is parallel to OB. So be mindful of this. AX and OB are parallel. Awesome. AC and OB. Find AX. To find AX, if I can find AB, I can easily find AX as well, because we have the relation between AX and AB. So let's find AB first. A is the starting point, B is the ending point. So I move in this direction. As you can see, this direction and this, they are opposite. So A will be negative and the same direction. So B will be positive. So B minus A. Next, now that I have AB, I can just use the relation above, that AX is 3/5 of AB. So AX is 3/5 of B minus A. That's your answer. Okay, find XC. Give your answer in its simplest form in terms of A and B. I have to find XC. This one over here. Okay, this length is required. So for that, let's work out. Let me just clear it out a bit. बाद में इसको मैं ऐड कर दूंगा. वेट. This is required, X, right? So for that, if I can see a path, I don't have the value because it's not a parallelogram or a shape like that, which we can easily figure out. So we don't have much information about XC or AC, but you can use a concept. What is that? That is why I emphasize to be very careful with this topic. Similarity. It's a very important concept, especially for you people, क्योंकि आप लोगों का a lot of topics can use this. So if I say XAC, okay, so first let me explain it to you. Okay? Because these two are parallel sides, and we have done a lot of questions in which we have been dealing with such kind of triangles, right? Now you should be even just looking at the triangles and identify, okay, yes, these are similar triangles. If the lines are parallel, and let's say this is a transversal, I can say this angle over here and this angle, they are equal. Why? Because it's a Z shape. alternate angles, right? And if I use this line as a transversal, again, alternate angles. So this angle is the same as this angle, right? Now, we are left with one angle. Either you can give a reason, third angle in a triangle, or you can say vertically opposite angles. Now, they are not asking you about anything related to these triangles. This is what your knowledge is being tested, right? These are similar triangles. And you should know that corresponding angles are equal. If the corresponding angles are equal, then these triangles are similar. And this is the most easiest form of similar triangles you can identify. So XAC and triangle XBO. How have I named them? X, okay, equal angles. A and B are equal angles, and O and C are equal angles. That's how I've named them. Now, according to this, the ratio of corresponding sides will be equal. Ratio of corresponding sides is equal. So if I group them just like that, XA, you can select the first two from the first triangle and the first two from the second triangle. These are corresponding sides. इनका ratio equal है, right? The ratio will be equal AC over BO, XC over XO. For those who don't know how to pair them, you select the first two from this, first two from the second one, second two, first and last, right? If you can figure out the name of it. Now, there was one piece of information given to us. What was that? AX ratio XB is this. Now, this is not me telling you, this is them. AX and XB. Can you figure out this over here? AX and XB. What is the ratio? 3:2. So can I say the same about XC? Ratio OX, yeah, XO. Can I say the same about that? They are also in the same ratio. Ratio of corresponding side is equal. All of them are in the same ratio, 3:2. Okay. Now, if we have OX given to us, OX, I can figure out using OB and XB, or OA and AX, right? So I can figure out let me mark them as well. OX I can figure out. Same to applies over here. 3/5 maybe. Okay. So OX, I can say that OX is in the same direction as OA. So A is positive. And in the same direction as AX. So AX is also positive. What was AX? 3/5 B minus A. So you get OX. A plus 3/5 B minus 3/5 A. So we have 3/5 B. And this should be 5A minus 3A. That will be 2 positive 2a over 5. I've done this directly, बच्चे इसको आपने simple side पे calculate करना होगा, right left. Okay. So OX, we have the value of OX now. Okay. I can figure out XC. How? Because the ratio between them was, what was the ratio? The ratio was that XC and OX are in the ratio 2:3. 3:2. If I rearrange this, I can write it as XC is 3/2 of OX. Can I say that? Yes? Manur, Amar, Ismail, can I say that? Yes, Ismail? Okay. So we have XC as 3/2 of. Eva, are you done with this? Yes or no?
No.
Are you getting this? Do you understand this? What we are doing over here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So this will be 9/10b plus this should be, the 2 and 2 will cancel out, so 3/5a. That's your answer. XC is 3/5a and 9/10. Take a look at it carefully, and if you have any questions, do let me know. Is that clear? Should I move on? Amar? Okay. Manur, is this clear?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay,
ये
good.
class कब तक चलेगी?
बस बचे last 2 questions हैं. We are about to end. Okay. ठीक है. So write this over here in the form of this. So it's completing the square method. All you have to do is the coefficient of x should be divided by 2 and squared. So divide by 4 divided by 2, that is 2, and square it. So we have 2 squared. You add and you subtract the same value, minus 12. Okay. Now look at the first. We have to apply the identities. कौन सी वाली? A square plus 2ab plus b square. If it's in this form, the 3, then it will become a plus b whole square. And if it's in this form, then it will become a minus b whole square. So as we can see, the terms are positive. So I'm just going to collect the first and the last of the 3 terms and square it. Minus 4, minus 12. Okay. So we have x squared, x plus 2 whole square, minus 16. Now they're saying, use your answer to part A to find the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. Turning point, always remember, when you can convert this quadratic form into completing the square form. Over here, we have converted it into completing the square form. Then for the turning point, whatever is in the bracket, put that equal to 0. That is your x coordinate of the turning point. X coordinate of turning point. Where is the y coordinate? The y coordinate is right over here, minus 16. Okay. So all you have to do is minus 2 and minus 16. That's the coordinates where the graph will start to turn, turning point. Sketch the graph of this, indicating the values where the graph crosses the axis, where it is crossing the axis, right? So that means I have to use this. Crossing the axis. First of all, I have to figure out the shape of the graph. The shape of the graph will be determined by the coefficient of x square. If the coefficient of x square is positive, this over here, if that is positive, the shape is a U shape, like this. Okay, left to right, upwards. And this over here will determine the y-intercept. Then for the x-axis, we call that the roots. The roots over here. How do we figure the roots out? Over here, the value of y is 0. So I can just plug in the value of y is 0 and write it like this. We can see a quadratic equation, and I can solve it either complete middle term breaking or what we have already done over here. What was that? The completing square form. Both is, you can use both the ways, right? The completing square form, which is x plus 2 whole square minus 16 is equal to 0. So x plus 2 whole square is equal to 16. X plus 2, take an under root, you get plus and minus 4. And x is equal to 2 plus 4, sorry, negative 2 plus 4, or negative 2 minus 4. So you have two values of x. X is equal to 2 or minus 6. You can use this as well, or you can use middle term breaking as well. Yes, Ismail ask. Ismail ask. Be quick.
इक्वल टू 2 या माइनस 1 लिख सकते हो?
क्या बच्चे दोबारा बताओ?
तब मैं खाली लिख सकता हूँ x इज इक्वल टू 2 और माइनस 6
किस चीज के लिए?
जो आपने मिडिल
अच्छा,
टर्म
आप कह रहे हो ये वर्किंग बिल्कुल नहीं दिखानी? नहीं बच्चे, ये तो दिखाओ ना कि आपने जो ऊपर एक्सप्रेशन था, ये तो एक्सप्रेशन था, है ना? उसको आपने इक्वल टू 0 तो पुट किया कम से कम. यस,
मार्क्स कर्व के नहीं है
बच्चे कर्व के तो हैं, बट यू हैव टू शो सम ऑफ द वर्किंग, राइट? क्योंकि यहाँ पे देखो 1 मार्क फॉर x प्लस 6 x माइनस 2. अब बताओ उस मार्क का क्या करेंगे? और this one, they have given a mark for this one. What will happen to this mark? That's gone. Okay, so you have to check your marking scheme for that as well. इसलिए do not give any chance to the examiner to deduct your mark. Okay, middle term breaking के अंदर I can do it the same way. 4x minus 12 is equal to 0, and we have two brackets. We have x square minus 2x plus 6x minus 12 is equal to 0. So x minus 2 plus 6x minus 2. So you have x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 6. So you can use this or that. That's your choice. Now, because it's a U-shaped graph, and you can see the negative value and lesser positive value. So a graph should be something like this. Okay, you can always draw the graph first. If I can get a smooth, but it should be somehow. No, it's not written. But okay, it's fine. This is, you just label the points minus 6, positive 2, and then the y-intercept 12, negative 12. Okay, that's it. The turning point, if you want to mention, otherwise it's not required, because we have to find x's, right? where the graph is cutting the x's, crosses the x's. Next, question number 23, the last one for today. That will be OAB as a minor sector of a circle, center O, ठीक है. OCD is a major sector of a different circle. These two are different circles, right? OCA and OD, ठीक है. OC is 6 centimeters, so I'm just going to mark it 6, and this is 9, so this is 3. The whole is 9. The length of the minor sector AB is 5 pi. So this is 5 pi. Right? Work out the area of the major sector OCD. So I am concerned about the area of this hole. ये हमने figure out कर. How do we do that? If I can figure out the angle, because they have given us the arc, using this sector OAB, I can figure out the angle. So I can say minor arc AB is theta over 360 into 2 pi r. That is given 5 pi. Theta is not given. Times 2 pi r is 9. Okay. So we can do some cancellation. Divide the whole equation by pi. The pi can cancel out. This will be 9 times 1. And balki, let me arrange it first so that we can calculate. So theta is equal to 5 times 360 divided by 2 times 9. Ab theek hai, right? Now I can cancel out this with 40. Then 2 times 20. So we have theta as 100. Numbers do not start multiplying the numbers. First rearrange them in P1 so that you save some time. So I have calculated this angle out 100. Now I can easily figure out this angle over here, which is 260 degrees. And because I'm concerned with the area of this, so area of sector OCD will be theta 260 over 360 times pi r square. Work it out. You cancel out this, right? And I'm not going to cancel out that first. Let me first write it, 36 pi. Because I can cancel out the 36, so that's fine. We have 26 pi. In terms of pi, the value was required for the area of sector OCD. Any questions? It's a 5-mark question. Proper working which dikhani hai. You have to show proper working. Okay. Any questions? No? Okay, that was it. Allah Hafiz.